What's good, y'all? Peace and blessings. Welcome to the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Y'all know what I do. We go live every Friday night right here on the GOAT James Kingdom platform. I'm Ajani, the Exposer. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. You guys know what to do. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Become a member of the channel because we are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. We do it like none other. I come to you for another great Friday night, so I appreciate you guys taking your time to enjoy your Friday night with me, because you know what I do best. It's time to expose these zesty Jeffries. Yes, y'all, tonight's show is about how they cannot handle information about basketball players. So we're going to talk about how everything LeBron James has done is being discredited, although the actual sources of the most credible people tell us LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. So y'all go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, thank you for joining me. It is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. You guys know what I do. I bring it like none other. It is the Friday night. Tonight's show is about this here right here. About how these guys been lying about LeBron James when all you have to do is a simple research and find out the truth. So this week, Brandon and I posted, just for fun, the accolades and accomplishments, because we go and look at the accomplishment of players. So we went to go look at LeBron James's accomplishment after 3 years, and we realized, after 21 years, and we realized, hey, these are the numbers. But Jordan fans, zesty Jeffries, they can't handle it. They tell us who talks about these accolades, who brings up these awards. Let's talk about seasonal awards. Then we give them the seasonal awards. Then they're like, oh, where's the scoring titles? Where's the steals titles? Where they're supposed to be, in a place where the NBA doesn't recognize. The NBA does not state that's where they should be here. So why should they be here? Shout out to you, Chris. Peace, brother. Thank you for joining me again. It is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Y'all know what I do best. I am coming at the zesty Jeffries. I will put the link up shortly for you guys when you are ready to talk and have a conversation with me. But tonight's show, y'all, is about just exactly that, how they can't handle LeBron's greatness when the information is directly in front of their faces. They're going to say we're lying, we're fanboys, we're just making things up, blase this, blase that. That's not us. That's not what we do. We actually look things up. We don't make it up. And when you look it up, you see LeBron James has the most accolades in NBA history. In NBA history. And you say, how, Johnny? Where? How? The NBA. That's how. That's where. That's who. The NBA says LeBron James has the most accolades in NBA history. I'm not the one who said it. The NBA said. So for y'all to sit here and make it seem like LeBron James is out here not accomplishing nothing, because they added some accolades to LeBron James's career here. They added it. They added it. So I know how y'all feel. Y'all going to say, oh, no, what is that? That's not real. Listen, again, it's put right here in front of your face. All right? The NBA states that LeBron James has more accolades than Jordan and Kareem combined. You see it right here. It's NBA on their website. These are the players' bios. This is not doctored. This is not us doing anything. This is real information. LeBron James has over 150 awards and honors as an NBA player for his NBA career. That's 3 times as much as Kareem, and that's about a third as much as Jordan. Then they get mad at the accolades that are up here. Don't get mad at us. This is what the NBA put. The NBA put these accolades up here. We didn't put these accolades here. This is what they listed as the honors that they recognize. The awards that they give out. These are all NBA awards that they give out or they recognize. Then they say, oh no, you want to count player of the month or player of the week. Like I told y'all, player of the week is on Kobe's stat sheet. And the NBA has an actual trophy for the player of the month every month given out to that player who wins that award. So that's That's an award. It's an honor. It's an accolade. No matter how you want to subjectively grade it, it don't matter. It exists. These are the actual accolades that exist. It's right here in your face. I don't even have to tell you no more. It's right in your face. But what are they going to tell you? Nobody counts these accolades. Nobody goes by these. So are you calling the NBA nobodies? Are you telling me that you know more than the NBA? Again, this is off of the NBA's website. This is their information. This is coming off of the NBA. Nowhere else. But you Zesty Jeffries are going to sit here and try to tell me that this doesn't count. This is fake information. This is bull crap. You guys, I'm telling you, are the worst. But like I tell y'all, y'all don't want to get exposed. Y'all don't want to step up on a Friday night. Like I said, what context do y'all want? Bring the context. Let's have the context. If that's what you really want to talk about. Let's bring up the context. What context you want to bring up? Is Player of the Month an actual award? Yes. Is it an actual trophy? Yes. Is there one for scoring titles? No. If so, then why doesn't the NBA list scoring titles on Michael Jordan's bio? When we look at Michael Jordan's bio, nowhere in here do we see 10 scoring titles and 3 steals titles. The NBA do not honor those things. They don't give those awards out. That's not our fault. That's not our fault. Right? Nothing to do with us. So what do they say? They say, "Oh, Ajani, you are cherry picking. Nobody counts that. That's not a part of the GOAT debate. Only you and your cronies and all these other guys who are bronze sexuals are the ones who count this. Blase, blah 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 blah." Like I said, that's from the NBA site. Then on top of that, right? Then on top of that, they say, well, count just the seasonal awards. Peace, what's good, King Money Fly? Thank you for joining me. Another GOAT James Kingdom member. Appreciate you guys. It's good to see y'all. Thank you for joining me on a Friday night. Like I said, this is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I'm going to put the link up so we can have a conversation. We are talking about where do you get your information from? Who are you to discredit the NBA for telling us who has the most accolades and awards? Then they get the nerve to say this. This is what they'll tell me. Again, we get all of it. We hear everything. Oh, let's see what it is for just seasonal, because they want to take away the Player of the Month and the Player of the Week. They think that's going to help Michael. They think that's going to help Michael Jordan. Excuse me. Oh, where is the seasonal awards? Just bring up the seasonal awards. All right, so let's do that. Let's just bring up the seasonal awards. Let's do that. Let's do that. And when we do that, because what you get at the end of the season is only MVP, All NBA, All Defensive Team. That's the only real season awards. All-Stars is not even counted. If we go back and look at the bios, the NBA does not list the All-Star selections as an award and honor, because there is really no award for it. Again, the All-Star game is a mid-season exhibition game. But it's still one of the oldest selections in NBA history. It's the All-Star game and the All-NBA team. But what else can you win? There is no award or honors for winning a rebounding title or winning the scoring title. The NBA doesn't recognize it. So we're talking about seasonal NBA awards and honors. And Michael Jordan doesn't even have more than Kobe Bryant. Then they're gonna bring up, oh, he didn't play 20 years. You're comparing him to guys who played 20 NBA seasons. It's no one's fault it took Michael Jordan 19 years to play 15 NBA seasons. It's no one's fault. LeBron James is about to make his 20th All-NBA team. Jordan only has 11. Think about that. LeBron James is about to have 9 more All-NBA selections over Jordan. He already has 3 more first teams over Jordan. Zesty Jeffries don't like that. It's not my fault. But why have you guys just been lying about Jordan having the most accolades, having the most awards, and all that stuff? He doesn't. And then when they say, "Oh, bring in context, Ajani, you got to use context." They didn't have Player of the Month for both conferences when Jordan played. They only had it for one. So Jordan, it wasn't. It's not fair. Jordan couldn't win. Jordan couldn't win the in-season tournament MVP. Right? They're gonna say, "Oh, that doesn't count." Right? That's gonna be their words. That's what they're gonna want to say. That's what they're gonna want to do. Right? They're gonna say, "Oh, that doesn't count as well." They're gonna say, "Oh, you can't bring up the in-season tournament. Jordan didn't have a chance to play in the in-season tournament." But they don't do that with the Defensive Player of the Year. They don't do that with the All-Defensive Team. They don't do that with the Finals MVPs, right? So when we bring up Basketball Reference, which some of y'all have voted to say that Basketball Reference is more credible than NBA.com, well, what they put on LeBron James's bio. I don't know what that says there, but if it looks like to me, it says the IST. These are all the accolades that LeBron James has for his career. The same ones that we were listening to when we were talking about. And if we go, like I said, we take just the seasonal awards. What is there to say? I mean, they put it there. It's there. I didn't put it there. I didn't crop that in there. I know I make good graphs. You know, Brandon and I do our thing. We make good videos. We make good content, which is why you should become a member of the channel, because that's what we're going to keep doing. Keep bringing out new content and keep exposing people, because this is information that people were rarely known. When I showed Brandon the NBA.com bio and how many awards and accolades LeBron James had compared to Jordan, he was surprised too. Because all you had to do is do your research. I didn't even need all of that to know that LeBron James was better. But all the lies that Jordan fans say. Jordan has the most accolades and records. The lies. Now, so what? We can't praise the in-season tournament MVP because why? Jordan fans feel like it's not credible for what? We didn't need that to say LeBron's the GOAT. He was the GOAT before he did this. It's just more. It's just, like I said, it's just a LeBron James baked the cake to make himself the GOAT, got bored and baked another cake that was better than the cake that he made himself the GOAT as. This is a better resume than 4 years ago. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Shout out to you, King Angel. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. Yeah, y'all get that likes up, man. So, on top of that, they're going to bring it up. Jordan played against the bum-ass 90s, trash-ass 90s, hot garbage-ass 90s, the 1900s. Let's not even talk about the 80s because we done with the 80s. But this is on Basketball Reference. It states it right here clearly. Hey, the in-season tournament. Anybody who cares about basketball and takes a look at Basketball Reference and sees this and says, oh my God, LeBron James has 4 different MVPs. And like I told y'all, I didn't need none of this. I didn't need none of this to basically know that LeBron was the GOAT. When I started doing GOAT James Kingdom with Brandon, this was the only information I needed, the only information I had, the only information I cared about was this right here. This was a graph that I made when I did the show that I have on my own YouTube channel, which is obviously Ajani Bakari. You can follow that channel as well. Subscribe to that channel. Hit the like button on that one when you see my content. But this was the graph that I made. These were the stats and accolades that I needed to show that LeBron James was better than Jordan. And it was just as clear as day. Like clear as day. Clear as day, LeBron James was just the better basketball player. Didn't need nothing else. Like, you are mad. You are mad that you cannot prove that that LeBron isn't the GOAT. Especially in GOAT James Kingdom. You can't do it. Y'all can't prove to us. We use everything. Obviously, you can see right here, Jordan's recognized for everything that you guys talk about Jordan for. And still, with everything that you guys know about Jordan's career, LeBron James is still better than him. And this was done 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago. This was done back in 2021, I think I did this, or 2022, something like that. around that time, before we started GOAT James Kingdom. So I don't need all that extra stuff. Y'all were the ones that made me go find and go look for things, right? And then we ended up here, to the point to where now y'all are mad because we went to the NBA.com and we found out LeBron James has more awards and accolades than Michael Jordan. Because y'all can't stop lying about zesty ass Jeffrey. And y'all are the most zestiest of the Jeffreys. Legitimately. Like this is what y'all do. So like I said, I'm gonna put the link up. And like again, I probably won't get no real challenges, which is fine. But you guys know what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. We don't care about these zesty Jeffreys. All they want to do is talk about Defensive Player of the Year, scoring titles, 6 Finals MVPs, Finals records. That's all they got. And half of that don't even matter anymore. Nobody even cares about that. Even some Jordan people who have Jordan as the GOAT is tired of that conversation because they know it's a silly conversation. It is silly. So the link is up for anybody who wants to join me because this is what I do best. LeBron James's career is illustrious. It's better than Jordan's career. Whether you think Michael Jordan can play the game of basketball better than LeBron, it is obvious LeBron James's career is greater than Michael Jordan's career. 2 more championships does not make Michael Jordan better than LeBron James. 4 Finals MVPs does not make Michael Jordan better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Playing less does not make him better than any one of these guys here because he did it in supposedly less time when most of the stuff that these guys didn't need all this time to do it. If they would have played the 15 years like Jordan did, they would have similar numbers, if not better numbers. As a fact, Kareem would have more All-NBAs, more All-Defensive selections than Jordan, more All-Stars than Jordan, more MVPs than Jordan in 15 years. LeBron would have more All-NBAs, the same amount of All-Stars than Jordan. He would have less MVPs and less All-Defensive selections. Kobe would have more All-NBAs. I think about the same amount. I think Kobe would have 12, if I'm correct. So he would have more All-NBAs than Jordan. And he would, if I'm correct, the same amount of All-Defensive selections as well as Jordan. He definitely had more than 9 by the time he got to his 15th season. More All-Stars than Jordan. Kobe Bryant's been an All-Star since his second NBA season. So it didn't take these guys that long. It's not longevity. It's just lies that y'all use. These are all lies that you guys use to try to boost Michael Jordan. And then y'all tell us we're the ones who discredit people to boost up LeBron James. No, that's what y'all do. Because contrary to popular belief, we're not insecure about Jordan. But for some reason, y'all are insecure about GOAT James. That's why I get booted out of groups. I can't even be in no group and talk basketball with anybody and share my content because you guys are that afraid of Ajani. Soon I'm going to be banned on YouTube as well. Soon y'all going to start saying, man, just leave Ajani alone. Pay him no mind. But y'all can't because we keep bringing out real information. We keep giving you guys the facts. We keep bringing up stuff that y'all can't handle. So y'all, I mean, it's just as simple as this. We all know Coach Ham got fired today, right? And the whole coaching staff, they just let go of everybody. The Lakers just said everybody got to get up out of here. Everybody's gone. We about to revamp everything. And Pelinka should be next. I'll put up the link. Because I had some Instagram people claiming they wanted to step up on a Friday night. We don't. Like I said, I don't run from nobody, man. This is GOAT James Kingdom. We don't run from none of y'all. Y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all are just a bunch of zesty Jeffreys. The link is up. The link is up for anybody who want to step up. From the sideline. Oh, that's my dog. That's my dog. Step up to the plate. Peace, y'all. I see y'all here, man. Thanks so much again for joining me. It is the Friday Night Exposure with The Exposer. I'm Ajani The Exposer. If you haven't heard of me yet, I'm one of the most craziest, most delusional LeBron fans. That's what they'll tell you if you would listen to a Zesty Jeffrey. But I'm just a basketball fan. I'm actually an NBA fan because I go to the NBA website to go get information. I go find out what the NBA knows and what the NBA provides and what they collect in their data. And yes, when it comes to career numbers, it's sometimes better to go to basketballreference.com as they have it more feasible and more easy to move in there on their website. But still, at the end of the day, NBA provides a lot of great material for you if you are a basketball fan. You should be checking out what the NBA is telling you. I don't know. I know for a fact all football fans go check out NFL and NFL Network and what's going on with the league because they're football fans. If you're a basketball fan, you can't sit here and tell me the NBA is nobody. So the Zesty Jeffries are gloating over the fact that Darvin Ham got fired, and they're blaming LeBron James as usual. But we all know that's not true. We all know it's not LeBron's fault. But let's let my brother here, Southside Mel, OG Mel.
What's going on, brother?
From the Sideline Podcast. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out their content. You need to get yourself straight in there, brother. Shout out to y'all in the comments again, y'all. Thank you for joining me. It is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer.
Hold up, my mic is going crazy right now.
All right, no problem. Let me go ahead and put you here for a minute. So yeah, so as I was stating, shout out to y'all in the comments. I see you there. What's good, Travis? Thank you for joining me again. Another GOAT James Kingdom member. Thank you for supporting. I already have my argument, my Jordan argument, and it's invincible. But Braun, a solid number 2. Anybody who has LeBron number 2 automatically submitted to LeBron being the GOAT. They just can't let go of Jordan. It's a nostalgia thing. Yay! See, look, now I got to shout out to Mel and OG Mel. You guys should go follow him. He's on TikTok. They also have their own platform. It's called From the Sidelines podcast. It's F From the Sidelines. So it's exactly that, all that acronym. And he's gonna come up. He'll plug in his show. So shout out to him. He is right here. He was asking for the link. This is their channel here, From the Sideline podcast. Y'all check them out. They talk all kind of things, including basketball. And OG Mel is the senior godfather of the crew. And I've been on their program as well. I'll bring him up once he gets himself straightened up here. But again, they want to blame LeBron for everything, but they don't want to give him no credit. And they don't even know where to go find the real credible information about LeBron James. They just want to bring up lies and myths and more Zesty Jeffrey information that nobody cares about. That's another thing too. They say stuff that nobody cares about but Zesty Jeffries. Nobody cares about that. It's only you Zesty Jeffries that care about that. You see what I'm saying? So the link is up as well for anybody who wants to join me. So let me get to this before I can get to anybody who wants to come up. So we know Darvin Ham got fired, but little do they know, right, that Michael Jordan got every last one of his coaches fired. Every last one of them got fired. Even when I told them Phil Jackson left on his own volition, they told me I was bugging, that Michael Jordan had nothing to do with Phil Jackson being fired. That it was all Jerry Krause that fired him, blah, 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 blah. So that means every coach Jordan had got fired. His rookie coach, fired. Al Beck, fired. Doug Collins, fired twice. Phil Jackson, fired. All of Michael Jordan's coaches have gotten fired. But what have LeBron James done with his coaches? Now, he entered the Cleveland Cavaliers with Paul Silas as the coach. Paul Silas was fired from Mike Brown, right? So Mike Brown became the coach, and he took him to the finals. Then he got Spoelstra as a coach and won the NBA championship. Then he had David Blatt as a coach and took him to the finals. David Blatt did get fired for Tyronn Lue, who ended up winning an NBA championship. Then he left the Cleveland Cavaliers, went to the Lakers, which they had Luke Walton, and Magic Johnson was firing Luke Walton anyways, so Luke Walton got fired. Vogel gets hired as the head coach. He wins a championship with Vogel. Vogel gets fired, and now he has Darvin Ham. So, I mean, what's the big talk? Jordan, yes. Liddy, answer the question. Was Phil Jackson fired or not? Answer that question. Was he fired or not? That's the main point. Give me 2 thumbs up if you're ready, man. Whenever you're ready, I just need you to give me a thumbs up. All right. So let's get you up here so we can have a great conversation. These Zesty Jeffries are something else, man. These Zesty Jeffries are something else. Yo.
Is Zesty Jeffries? That's crazy.
Yo, he said that's crazy. Yo, you don't understand, bro. These motherfuckers are stalkers, bro. You should see my DMs and my emails, man. These guys are crazy. But shout out to OG Mel. He's a part of the From the Sideline podcast, man. Good job by y'all. I see y'all growing, doing y'all thing, brother. What's good, man? We talking NBA information, where people get their information from and why people can't handle the information provided by GOAT James Kingdom. As you can see, we provided. GOAT James have the most NBA awards and accolades in NBA history, but for some reason, that's not acceptable to use in the GOAT debate. Your mic is off. Something wrong with your mic.
My bad.
Can you hear me? Okay, there you go. I can hear you.
There we go. Because you're crazy. That's why. Because you're crazy. We've had this conversation 1,000 times. Because you like to add. Sometimes when you're making a dish, there's certain ingredients you don't need, and you like to keep adding stuff that's not required. Like the player of the week stuff that you like to add is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We've had this conversation.
Who said we added it? How did we added it? We acknowledged it. We made y'all recognize it. That's the difference. It was available to you at the whole time. You ignored it.
Then you also said go to like NBA.com and get your information, right?
Yeah, go to NBA.com. Yeah.
But if you go to NBA.com and you type in who has the most accolades in NBA history, it's Michael Jordan.
No, it's not. And again, when you go to Michael Jordan's bio, it tells you exactly the amount of awards that he has. He doesn't have more than LeBron James. You don't want to accept that. That's what the NBA says. That's not what we say. The NBA tells you these are the awards that Michael Jordan has. So how are we wrong for using these?
Okay.
How is we wrong?
Because the NBA, yes, player of the month and player of the week are things that the NBA does give out. But when they are talking about player accolades, those things never come up. When have you ever heard someone use that they were player of the month for February?
When the NBA presents the
I'm just saying,
I'm being honest. Listen, when the NBA presents the award every month to the player who wins it, and when you go check the play,
Who claims it?
What you mean who claims it? The NBA gives out the award.
No, I'm just saying, name what player holds up and go on their Instagram and be like, yo, I won this. They don't even do it on TV. They don't do nothing.
Yo, bro, I was on Knicks. I got it. I was on Knicks website recently, and they had player. Wait a minute. The Knicks have Player of the Week awarded for their players when Julius Randle won that, right? And then on top of that, if you go on Kobe's statue, they put Player of the Week for his accomplishments for his career. It's actually there. The 33 Player of the Weeks that Kobe Bryant won for his career are listed on his actual statue in the Lakers, in the Lakers Stadium or Lakers Arena.
When real people are having these conversations,
yes,
Player of the Week never comes up.
Why is the NBA not considered real people? And the NBA makes it real. You can't say it's no longer real if the NBA says these are the awards that
No, I know. No. I didn't say it wasn't real. I said no one cares about it. No one brings those things up. It's not. That's not part of the argument.
The NBA cares. You're not the NBA. The NBA
I didn't say it was. No. I didn't say because
you can't discredit it now. The whole point is that. Go ahead.
Us as fans and lovers of the sport, we are the ones who have these GOAT conversations for real. We are the ones who pretty much we decide who's the GOAT, who's not.
Okay.
We do. And when we have these conversations on a whole, in mass, Player of the week never come. Never. Not once. You're the only person I've ever seen bring that up.
Thank you. That's why we exist. Because this is information that's available that the fact that you ignore shows why you're not trying to have a conversation.
Because it doesn't mean anything.
It does. The NBA says it does. You're saying it doesn't mean anything. You don't mean more than the NBA. If the NBA says it, who are you to say differently?
If 10 people are having a conversation,
the 10 people don't equal to the NBA.
Listen, no, because we're just talking about majorities. That's all.
No. We're talking about the NBA being more credible than the masses. That's what we're talking about. You guys who think you're the masses, because mind you, this information was not brought to anybody till GOAT James Kingdom brought it to you guys.
No. What you're saying is correct. It is correct. It's a stat inside of the NBA, 100%. But it's us who now we take all of the information, right? So like I said, back to my point, if 10 people are having a conversation, and all 10 people come up with 9 people come up with the exact same thing, just because one singular person, has something that the rest don't, it doesn't make your point right. You're just being different.
No, if I state LeBron James has the most NBA accolades and awards in NBA history, I am stating a fact.
We just got off our live, so I can't pull up all my shit right now. So you love, but you my brother. That's why you my brother. That's why I came.
I don't know what you're gonna pull up to trump the NBA saying he has over 150 awards and honors for his career.
Okay, so fine. Okay, cool. So let's go back to your other point. I'll concede to that. He has more. He has more. We'll concede that he has more awards, right? So let's go back to your other point. When you said just because someone played less, that doesn't make them better.
Yeah, definitely. Playing less don't make you play better at all.
When you accomplish more in that period of time, because you said something that was false. You said that LeBron would have more All-NBA teams if he played in 15 seasons.
He did have more All-NBA teams than Jordan in 15 seasons.
How? He didn't make it. He didn't.
He made 14. He made 14 in 15 seasons. Jordan made 11 in 15 seasons. My brother, that's math. That's 3 more than Jordan. And he had 12 12 all NBA first teams, if I'm correct. Jordan only had 10 in 15 seasons. Jordan has the 3 all defensive selections. He has the 2 finals MVPs, like y'all love to mention. He'll have now mind you, the one that the graph that I originally showed, because this doesn't show you championships, because these are individual awards that the NBA is showing you for a player's bio. So again, there's a lot of other factors that we never discluded from the conversation. Because like I told you before, I do everything Jordan has over LeBron.
I know you do everything.
Exactly.
Just because you do everything doesn't mean you do it right. Now. And this is cool. Like, look,
you cooking with what's it called, with great value ingredients, while I'm cooking with the actual ingredients, right? You understand
that's what you
that,
think.
right?
That's what you think.
No, that's the fact. Because I'm using NBA, I'm going to actual Whole Foods. You in Walmart with great value. But go ahead.
I don't go nowhere near Walmart. I don't go nowhere near Walmart.
Okay, all right.
So to say, so when we're talking greatest, so you just like to stick to stats, correct?
No, I like to stick to the production of a player's career. The stats tell you what they did on the basketball court.
That's the production.
Okay, that's the basketball court. Okay, yeah. So the stats tell you what they did production-wise. The honors and accolades tell you what they won based off of their performance, which is basically their production.
Right.
So with all that Jordan did, even him getting the little bit more votes for MVP and all defensive player, right? Those little things that he was able to accomplish, even though he accomplished less, because he didn't accomplish more than LeBron. He just got more votes than LeBron. He got voted more seasons for things than LeBron did. That's fact.
So in your opinion, you have what makes you the GOAT, in your opinion, is just your statistical, and I guess you're only counting individual accolades?
I'm counting your stats, your accolades.
All accolades.
All accolades are counted, including your seasonal awards.
When do we?
Or seasonal stat leaderships.
Okay, so
even that.
Okay, so we're talking about all the pluses right now, correct?
Yeah.
When do we get to the negatives?
There are no negatives for great players.
Why aren't there negatives?
Because there aren't. That's why they're great. What negative are you going to point to? Let's start with Jordan. What's negative on Jordan's side? Let's start there first.
What's negative on Jordan's side?
Yeah, let's start with Jordan. What's negative on Jordan's side? Let's start there. What can we start? What can we start deducting from Jordan's career?
His first three.
No. Let me rephrase that. I want to make sure I said the right thing. What can we start deducting from Jordan's greatness? Go ahead. Let me hear this.
The first 3 years, his team success was not good, and the last 2 years, his team success was not good.
5 losing seasons, you mean? So he had 5 losing seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, which is true, because out of all the top 10 players, like you said, out of the masses top 10 player, he's the only one that has 5 losing seasons. All right.
No. I didn't say losing season. I just said team success was not good.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. But those same seasons you're mentioning, if we take the stats,
his
stats, his team was under 500. That's horrible.
They went to the playoffs.
Yeah, I know, but they were still under 500.
A winning season. See, this is where we always have our disconnect, because the goal. What is the goal for every team at the beginning of the season?
To win the championship, so supposedly. Some teams
but how do you get to the championship?
You have to win games. Starts with the regular season.
Winning
games.
How do you get to the championship?
Winning games by making
how
the playoffs.
Do you get to
by
the
making
championship?
the playoffs? Making the
okay,
playoffs.
Boom. Stop it right there.
Uh-huh.
Make the playoffs.
Yes.
Every team's goal is to make the playoffs to get to the tournament so that you can have a chance to win a championship. So you can't have a losing season if you made the playoffs. This is where me and you differ. You go by numbers. I go by what the team did. Did the team make the playoffs? Yes.
What did you win making the playoffs?
What do you mean? What did you win?
For you to be considered a winner, you have to win something. What did you win?
I said they won enough games to get.
You said it's a winning season. That's not a winning season. You don't win anything making the playoffs. You have to win something. That's what I'm saying. A winning season would be
making a winning regular season is making the playoffs.
42 wins or more is a winning season. If you want to count the playoffs on top of that, 42 wins or more would be a winning season.
You said 40 wins?
42 wins would be a winning
42
season.
wins is not.
42 and 40 means I won more games than I won. I had a winning season.
So if you win 42 games and don't make the playoffs, who had a better season, me or you?
I had a 42-win season. It's still a winning season.
But you didn't make the playoffs. How was your season better than mine?
No. Granted, you made the playoffs, but you can't tell me a team that
who had a better season, though. Answer the question.
Who had a better? See, now that you want to bring that up. If a team
if you win 42 games and I win 38 and I make the playoffs and you don't, who had a better season?
Now, what doesn't that crush the East is weak conversation?
No, we can get to that. I'm asking you a question.
No, because I'm confused now. Because
no, you're not. If you answer the question, stop jumping to the next thing. If I answer the question, who had a better season?
Listen, if I answer the question, which is the most objectively, the team that made the playoffs. So now I ask you this.
Okay, now stop. Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
We can tackle all the other stuff in a second, but we got to stay singularly focused right now. This is the problem with you LeBron fans. Y'all when you get one thing, you want to go somewhere else because you listen. Y'all listen.
Your
to
takes
respond.
are
Y'all
all
don't
over the
listen
place.
to comprehend.
No, your take is all over the place. You're praising somebody for making. Listen. You're trying to praise a team for making the playoffs, although they had an under 500 record. While at the same breath, you will also diminish the competition in which LeBron James played because they themselves have an under 500 record, but also a playoff team. So you can't sit here and tell me because
those are two separate arguments.
No, it's not, because the point the point is that you're asking what's a successful season. A successful season obviously is making the playoffs instead of not making the playoffs, right?
Yes.
If I didn't make the playoffs, I'm talking about being a winning season. You're saying that the Bulls
a winning season is winning the championship.
No, listen, a winning season is having an above 500 record for the regular season.
It's not.
The postseason is not the regular season. It doesn't count for the regular season. That's why it's called a postseason. It happens after the season.
What is the goal for the regular season? Win win a bunch of games or make the playoffs?
So have a winning season. I want to win 42
No.
games plus.
Answer the question. Is the goal for the regular season to win a whole lot of games or make the playoffs?
Win a whole lot of games.
You can win a whole lot of games and not make the playoffs. We've seen that. We've seen teams with 50 wins not make the playoffs. We've seen teams win 47 games and not make the playoffs.
Hey, there you go. And now you just proved my point.
No, I didn't. So
yes.
Who had a better season? A team
who had the winning season?
A team
who had the winning season?
Games, a team who won 42 games and made the playoffs, or the team who won 50 games and didn't make the playoffs?
That's what I'm trying to. But they both
who had a better seasons.
No. Do this way. Let's do this way.
No.
No, Mel, you're confusing because this is what you're doing. You act like the Bulls won 42 games. They won 30. They won 38. They won 40. They won 37. They won 35. They didn't have a winning season, even though they were eligible for the playoffs, which was because it was the week 80s, and they added an extra round, which let 4 more teams make the playoffs. That doesn't mean it's a more successful season because you went into the playoffs as a losing record team. You still had a losing record. I asked you to tell me what were Jordan's flaws. You brought up the fact that he couldn't do nothing the first 2 years.
I said team success. I said team.
Yeah, the team success. The team had 3 losing records. They had 3 losing record seasons.
You said losing season. I never
said that.
I never said that.
They lost horribly.
I said they lost in the playoffs.
Okay, the Bulls were 39, right, and like almost 50 in 1985, his rookie year. Yeah. They were 30 and 55 in 1986. Then they were what? They won 40 games. They didn't win no games on top of that. So they were what? They were 40 and 45. So for 3 straight seasons, they had a losing season. They were under 500. That's what a losing season means. That's what you guys want to do. You guys want to change the definition in terms of things. A losing season is under 500. That's just it. If you are under 500, you had a losing season.
Have you played sports before?
Yes. And you can't tell me I was a winner when I lost more games than I won.
Did your team make the playoffs that year?
As a loser. A loser can make the playoffs. Yes, a loser can make the playoffs. Because so a team that wins 38 games, 40 games can make the playoffs. That's a losing team.
If your goal in the beginning of the season, like everybody else's goal is to make it to the championship, is make it to the playoffs so you have a chance to win a championship. If you achieve that goal, it doesn't matter how you got there.
Listen, again, I get what you're saying. You want to be able to still make the playoffs, but no one's going to tell you, well, guess what? You can still win 35 games.
So you feel good. So you'll feel good if you won 49 games and didn't make the playoffs. You feel like you had a better season than the team that made the playoffs?
There was 8 better teams.
I'm just asking you a question.
No, but there was 8 better teams than you. That's the point.
I'm just asking you.
No, yeah. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest, right? The Warriors didn't make the playoffs. They won more games than the Miami Heat.
So who had a better season?
That's my point. The Heat had a losing season. They lost 4-1.
Who had a better season?
Well, hold on, wait. How many wins did the Heat have this year? I think the Heat had.
If the
No, the Heat had 46 wins. The same thing with the Warriors. I think they had the same amount of wins. So that's not even a good example. We have to go to an era. That's the point. We have to go to an era.
No, even this year there was how many teams in the Eastern Conference? Where's my fucking phone?
Yeah, all the teams in the Eastern Conference won 46 games plus. The Heat won 46 games, 45 games, 46 games. Same thing as the Warriors. The Warriors won 46, 45 games as well. They were the 10th seed. The Heat were the 8th seed.
Yeah, and didn't the Pelicans win like 48 or some bullshit?
They won 49.
They won 49.
Yeah, they won 49, but they ended up being the 8th seed.
And they were the 8th seed.
Yes, as a 49 win team. They should have been the 7th seed. That would have been their original seeding. They would have been the 7th seed. So as 49 wins.
Now, going back to this whole thing, who's had a better season? The team who makes it, or the team who had a whole bunch of wins and did not?
Well, the Heat did make the playoffs, so the Heat had a better season than the Warriors. But they both had winning seasons. One didn't have a losing season.
It did but there's been multiple teams. There's been multiple teams that have won 41 games, 40 games, made the playoffs.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So all those times in the East, when there were teams in the East making the playoffs at 38 wins, 39 wins, 40 wins, but there were teams missing the playoffs at 49 wins. You're gonna tell me? So you're gonna tell me that team was better? They had a better season. But which team was better? Because that's what you guys gotta. Which team was the better team? The team that won 49 games or the team that won 39 games?
The team that went to the playoffs.
So,
because when you're saying that's
why with that there,
to go to your second your second point about the Eastern Conference, if there are teams making the playoffs with sub 500 records and the other conference, no one is doing that. Yes, your conference is viewed as less than.
No, I made the playoffs. Your conference didn't. You can't.
No. But now we're comparing conferences.
No, because you just said that my team, I made the playoffs, you did it. So that makes me better than you. No, I had the better season.
But if you lined up all 16 playoff teams, who would have more playoff teams at the top, the West or the East?
That's why now you want to go by the record. That's why I keep telling you the record matters more. I keep telling you the record matters.
No, because now we're dividing it.
No, we're not. We're going off by what the record says. The record says you won 49 games. You're a good team.
Eastern Conference. Those were the best teams available in the Eastern Conference, correct?
Those were the best. Those were their records. They play against each other the most.
Those were the best teams in the Eastern Conference.
Yes.
And then the teams in the West are the best teams in the Western Conference.
Yes.
Okay. So those teams made the playoffs based off what they did in their conference, and these teams made the playoffs based on their conference. Now, if you were to judge the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference playoff teams, the Western Conference was better.
But Mel, what you fail to realize is that how you win your conference and make your playoff conference is by your record. So when I tell you a team has a losing record, they're still a losing team. Doesn't matter if they make it because of their conference.
It's still the best. But it's still the best that the East
but you're still proving my point. You're still proving my point that it's a losing. It's a losing season. It's a losing season. There's no success in it. It's a losing season. You lost more than you won. That's a losing season. You didn't win anything. You didn't win anything. It's one thing if you won your division. You can say at least we won our division, but you have to win more. You have to win more than 500%.
Does that team that won 38 games have a chance to win the championship?
No, they don't really have a chance. Not at all.
No. They have a chance to win the championship?
Not compared to everybody else. No, because we compare the teams in the playoffs.
They have a chance to win the championship.
Yes, they have a chance. They're in the playoffs.
Okay, then. So then that's where, if you're in the playoffs, you have a chance. That's how that works. If you are not in the playoffs, you have zero chance.
Mel, you're hopping around. Listen again.
I'm not hopping.
Is it a losing season to be under 500 and still make the playoffs?
No, because you're trying. Do you have a losing record? Yes.
Yes. Did you have a losing season?
No. Losing record and losing season are not the same thing.
What team ever had more losses than wins and won anything? Tell me that. Let's just start there. Let's start anywhere. Name me the team that lost more games than they won and won anything. A division, a conference title, anything, brother.
In the NFL, the Seattle Seahawks they won their conference twice with losing records.
Oh, see? You're going to bring up the NFL. I'm talking about basketball, brother. They play 80 games. They play 80 games. That's enough to tell you enough, brother. Now, I'm not talking about football. Football is a different sport. We're talking about basketball. Let's stick to basketball. I know you do a lot of sports. We don't do a lot of sports. We do basketball.
You can have a losing record. That's what you are talking about. They had a losing record. They did not have a losing season. You have a losing season once you lose.
Look, you got your cronies here listening to you. He said, a losing team that can make the playoffs and win a chip. Tell me the team that has a losing record that ever won a championship or won anything.
It's not about if they did. They have a chance to do it.
They don't have a chance. They just made the playoffs. They don't have a chance.
And if you don't make the playoffs, do you have a chance?
You don't have a chance. You're just playing. You don't have a chance. No, you don't. Your odds is zero.
How is it zero when you're playing games?
Because you're not going to win them. You're a losing person. You're more than likely to lose than win. That's what the record says. You are going to be under 500. If you were doing that during the regular season, we give you a 5-game series, a 7-game series, more than likely you're going to go under 500 in those series because that's what you do. You're an under 500 team. You don't win. So that's why you never really see AFC teams go that far in the playoffs because they're really not that good.
That's a totally different conversation.
No, the conversation is that Jordan has 5 losing seasons. You don't want to accept that. That's 5 of them. There's 5 seasons where he played an 82-game season and his team lost more than they won.
Because we're having 2 totally different conversations. A losing season does not mean to me, because I am an athlete. We played sports. If I make the playoffs, I don't care how we make the playoffs. That's not a losing season for me.
So we may have had a bad record. So you're telling me that the Chicago Bulls 30-52 team had a more successful season than the 42 and 40 Cavaliers of 2005?
Did the Cavaliers make the playoffs?
No, they missed the playoffs by 1 game.
Then they had a bad season.
Let's bring up Travis. I know King Money Fly, you wanted to come up. I should have brought you up. But me and Mel, I haven't had Mel up here for a while. I want to have a good conversation. Thank y'all for joining me, man. Listen, Travis, you hear the conversation. You another Jordan guy. Why is it not considered a losing season because you made the playoffs? Explain that to me, please. I want to understand this from another Jordan perspective, if you can.
Well, it's a tough explaining, Johnny. But first of all, I just want to address the gentleman here. Hey, man, I'm with you. Obviously, I think Jordan's a GOAT, but you have the worst Jordan defense of all time, bro. You're not going to talk about his steals and blocks percentage. You're not going to talk about his dominance analytically. You're not going to talk about how we don't give a fuck about weekly or monthly players as long as it doesn't translate to an MVP of the season. You're not going to talk about any of these things that you can argue about. Dude, you are a complete and utter casual. You just use narratives, and you're a disgrace to the actual Jordan defense standpoint. As far as Johnny's question, it's a losing season, especially if you're in a watered down league who makes the playoffs at 30 wins and doesn't do anything. Obviously, every team has a chance to win if they're in the playoffs. But if you say that they're better than a team who won 12 more games than them and missed the playoffs, that's just a bad take. The league is better now than it's ever been, especially parity wise. Jordan came into a weak league, obviously got better later on. But if you're not objective, dude, then it's just a bad take. And I leave with that. And Johnny, you're to go. And I'll see you on Sunday, bro.
All right, hold on. Oh, wow, he left.
Oh, you can address him. Shit. Get your bitch ass back up here, girl. You ain't
no, go ahead. No, go ahead and address him. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, address him. You got the floor.
No, first of all, casual. No, bro. I watched both of these guys' careers from front to back. I watched Jordan when he came into the league. My brother was a Bulls fan, so I literally got to watch it firsthand. My brother been a Bulls fan since Bob Love. Okay? So I watch sports. I am sports. My brother was one of the greatest point guards in New York City history. Okay? Basketball is second nature to me. All right? So casual? Nah. I got three cousins in the NBA right now. I got other cousins playing overseas. I got 2 more getting ready to jump into the NBA next year. So nah, basketball is what I do. I just happen to be a football player. So casual, you can miss me with that. You don't even know me. So you could have literally just sat your little goofy ass right here and we could have had a conversation. Okay? I don't do that. If we're going to have a conversation, we're going to have a conversation. All right? Yeah. One thing I don't do, I don't disrespect anybody. Me and Ajani always have great conversations, and it's never disrespect.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, Mel. I agree with you there, Mel. Excuse my GOAT James Kingdom member. As you guys know, we get wild sometimes. It's Friday night. Somebody's having a little bit of a drink.
Yeah, but I can go there if that's the case, but don't say what you got to say and then dip.
Yeah. He's upset because he saw the exposing. So listen, I'm not gonna let y'all go back and forth with Mel. Mel is actually a good person of mine, a good friend of mine. We've been talking for a while. We've been battling this GOAT debate almost 2 years now because he saw GOAT James Kingdom 2 years ago and he said, I gotta make sure this young man stays in line. He's a little bit too far out in the end.
Yeah. Like I said, this is all.
But listen, this is what I got to get to because I want to get some other people because I got some members I want to bring up and I got to do that with them. So listen, this is the thing though. The negativity talk has to be thrown out because we can nitpick everybody's negativity. I just poked at Jordan having 5 losing seasons. But there's things like...
When I say negativity, this is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say that. We can go to the playoff performances of every single player and dissect what happened, what didn't happen, what accomplishments they have, it's hard to always bring up the good stuff, and we just ignore the bad stuff, because that's what separates the good from the greats. That's what it does. It's when you can't say, look how many buzzer beaters somebody has, but then ignore the losses that they have. That those two things can't, like, there's a positive and a negative to everything.
Yeah, but y'all ignore all of Jordan's negatives.
No, I don't. I've never, you know me, I never ignored
his 3-point shooting, ignored.
It's not ignored because
the fact that he was a horrible leader, ignored.
What define horrible leader?
He's a horrible leader. His teammates didn't like him. That's it. His teammates didn't like him.
They didn't
follow him. They didn't follow him. They didn't mimic Jordan's ethic, his character, nothing.
That's crazy because
they showed up. No,
so Scottie Pippen didn't follow Michael's lead?
No, he did no. In fact, when Scottie Pippen was following Michael Jordan's lead, he was considered kind of a cancer. And Phil Jackson told him, you have to separate yourself from Jordan because you're really not Jordan. Because he thought he had the star power of Jordan. And he thought that he was going to be able to just showcase his but that wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen because he was never going to take the shots. He was never going to take the shots to do that. But he was going to do everything else. Like Scottie Pippen, I wasn't recognized for everything else that I did do. That's the point. Jordan was lucky to have Phil Jackson that allowed Scottie Pippen to be Scottie Pippen. Under Jordan, it wouldn't have happened. He wanted Scottie Pippen traded.
No,
Jordan,
that is a lie. See, what you just said is a lie. Stop that. The Bulls.
I don't lie.
Yes, you because you just told me right now.
No, I did not.
The Chicago Bulls tried to trade Scottie Pippen 3 different times. 3. After his 3rd year, the Bulls were trying to get rid of him. Jordan said, "Nah, I got him. Leave him."
False.
They tried to bring in Tracy McGrady. Jordan said
False.
no. They tried to bring in Sean Kemp. Jordan said no.
False.
You show me where Michael Jordan asked for Scottie Pippen to be traded.
Michael Jordan asked for Scottie Pippen to be traded.
You show me.
And
where'd you get that? Where's the information?
It's from the Jordan Rules book. And Jordan. Wait. Michael Jordan. Pay attention now, Mel, because I'm gonna finish it here because I do have to get my members up.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. Michael Jordan stated in 1989 that the Chicago Bulls were supposed to trade for Buck Williams. He wanted LaSalle Thompson, or he wanted Mark Davis. I think that's his name, Mark Davis, Anthony Davis. I think it was Mark Davis, one of those players that played in North Carolina. Michael Jordan said that Scottie Pippen was not the guy that he needed to help him win championships. Horace Grant was not the guy to help him win championships. 1989, and I will actually post this so that you will see it. I will send it to you. I have this.
Who said this?
I did a whole.
Wrote the book?
Michael Jordan said it. They got Michael Jordan quotes. Michael Jordan said, and the end of 1991 trade deadline, he was upset and mentioned 3 names: Bill Cartwright, Horace Grant, and Scottie Pippen, saying that they cannot be trusted, that they needed to make a move to help them get better. In 1991, before they won a championship. I was bringing up 89 because in 89,
that's crazy,
he didn't trust.
Because all this information that I got says the total opposite of that.
No. The information you got. The information you got came later when in 95, they were the 94 season. The end of the 94 season, before the 95 season, they had a chance to trade Scottie Pippen for Sean Kemp, and Michael Jordan threatened the Bulls and told them that he would not return if they did that. They tried to get Tracy McGrady in 1997, and they had the deal done. Jordan blocked that deal, which would have helped the Bulls be better for another 5 years, but Jordan cannot win without Scottie Pippen, which is another negativity on his career, which I was trying to bring up. That Michael Jordan himself needed Hall of Fame help and an advantage over his opponents to win.
Every single great player has Hall of Fame help.
I know that.
One. So why is he getting singled out for it?
Because Jordan fans claim.
Why don't you say Magic? So why didn't you say Magic can't win without?
I do. That's why Magic's not better than LeBron. That's why Kareem's not better than LeBron. Why Jordan's not better than LeBron. No, LeBron
does
wins.
The same thing.
LeBron wins without any of that. You think Kyrie Irving's going to be a Hall of Famer? You think Kyrie Irving's going to be a Hall of Famer?
Yes, he will. So
With
Dwayne
what?
Wade's
For
not gonna
what?
be a Hall of Famer.
He won without Dwayne Wade.
Chris Bosh not gonna be a Hall of Famer.
He won without Chris Bosh.
Kyrie Irving,
He won without
Anthony
Kyrie Irving.
Davis,
He
Anthony
won without
Davis.
Anthony Davis.
He replaced them with other All Stars.
Kyrie Irving's not gonna be a Hall of
Famers.
Famer. Name me
Yes, he
why
is.
Kyrie. Why? What does Kyrie Irving have on his resume that makes him a Hall of Famer?
Fame. It's called Hall of Fame.
No, brother. You have to. A championship is not enough to make the NBA.
If they're saying
I mean
that
the
Damian
basketball Hall of
Lillard-
Fame.
If they're saying Damian Lillard is
Mm-hmm.
a future Hall of Famer, Kyrie Irving's going to moonwalk into the Hall of Fame.
At the end of what's it called career, he's gonna have close to 9,000 assists. He's gonna have over 20,000 points. He's gonna have
Who?
all of this stuff. Damian Lillard.
I don't know what he's gonna do.
He has wait. He has more All NBAs than what's it called has. So he's gonna definitely get there because of all of that. He has more than Kyrie. He does. Kyrie doesn't have more than Damian Lillard.
If Damian Lillard is a Hall
Uh-huh.
of Famer, Kyrie is walking into the Hall of Fame easily.
Not
Yes.
easily. Damian Lillard does more.
His playoff resume alone
Let me-
is going to get him in the Hall of Fame.
Let me bring up my brothers, man. Y'all know where to find them. Plug in your channel, Mel. We gotta have another show because I can't spend.
Yeah,
too
go
much
do
time
your
with
thing.
you,
Go do
'cause
your thing.
No, plug in your shuttle. Let everybody know where they can find you and where your content's at, brother. Let them know.
From the Sideline Podcast, you'll find us on YouTube. I mostly do my football stuff on Inside the Huddle. I only talk basketball with my brothers. You know, he out here spitting his gibberish. So I got to
Troy
pop
and
up.
Troy and them. Shout out to Troy and Moon and all them boys.
You'll see the guys: Troy Moolidge, Buop, GQ, Mr. GQ. My dog is going crazy because his mother must be home.
Man, listen, I appreciate you, man. I would chop it up with you for a while.
Yeah, I
but
wouldn't even
can't,
look.
brother.
When I tell you, we just finished our live when I saw your thing pop up. So
All right, no, I appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure to follow the brother, man. Give him some content. He creates good content, man. Give him some followship. So support you, brother. Thank you so much, Mel.
all right, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Let me bring up some guys. I'm gonna bring up all you guys one at a time right here. I got you. What up, King Money Fly? Thank you for joining me. All right, I see you here. Twin Man's 30.
What's going on?
Travis, man. All right, so let's yeah, I got to mute you, King Money Fly. Your mic is back there's back talk. But Travis, what are we drinking on? What's good, King Money Fly? Hey, Travis, what are we drinking on tonight?
Hey man, just some Pinot Grigio, dude. Like, you know.
But what are we drinking on tonight? I need to know because I heard you sipping on something when you was going off. What are you sipping on?
Oh man, it's definitely this some house Cabernet, bro. But you know what? I honestly like. I felt bad. I can't. Like when I was talking to the guy, I know that we had like a lot of the same beliefs, and I may have come at him a little hard. That's why I wish he was still there. I just
Nah,
like
he's
like
a
I
good
said,
dude, man.
he's a good dude, man. He seems like a great dude. He's very even tempered. He's very mellow, and it's just like again, I just hate when people are like, when you specifically ask them why is Jordan the GOAT, and they just come with these like basic takes. I mean, it's infuriating to me. I know I shouldn't take it personally, but I do.
I didn't ask him
y'all
who was the GOAT.
Y'all gonna be nicer to me. Y'all gonna be nicer to me. He
No,
double
listen.
talked the entire time.
That was the problem, and that's what they failed to realize. The whole conversation goes that LeBron James has the most accolades in NBA history, not because GOAT James Kingdom says so, not because LeBron James Clutch Sports is paying somebody to say so. If you go to the NBA website, they just list all the awards that they recognize, and they actually tell you which NBA player and how much they have. What's hard to understand? I really don't get it. Now let's let King Money fly. And King Money fly. I know you heard what he was saying. Do you think a team that makes the playoffs had a winning season even though they were under 500 to make the playoffs?
Heck nah, man. That's just Jordan logic. Look, I wanted to get in so bad when he was saying that, bro, because it's like, how you bragging on him making it under 500, but then yet y'all discredit for Braun losing 6 times in the finals. Like, that's bad. But making the playoffs under 500 is super bad. That's not even a successful season because you made it because the conference was weak. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you make it under 500,
King Money Fly.
What's up? Go ahead.
He made it. See, that's the thing, bro. It's not that he made it. He made it by default because they added 4 teams. See, that's the part they don't want to admit. The only reason why he made it under 500 is because they added those four teams. He made it by default. And when he sat here and he double talked the entire time, we can talk about how the Eastern Conference was bad, but if teams are under 500, that means you have a winning season. How does that make any goddamn sense?
I mean, it don't make any sense, man. That was just a bad take all the way around, though. Like, claiming him making it have a successful season under 500 is wild to me. That's not a success season. Yes, you play the game to make the postseason, but not under 500. And like Ajani asked him a question, name a team that was under 500 that won anything, a division, a conference title, let alone the finals. That ain't never happened.
That team, those AC teams are the warm-up teams, period. You know that team ain't going nowhere. It's only recently, because the NBA is more talented now, you got to worry about the AC. That's the only reason why you got to worry about that.
Let's let Sturdy. Hold on, wait. Let me let Sturdy get in right quick because we getting close to almost end time. What up, Sturdy, man? Thanks for joining me, man. So I don't know if you caught the conversation or you got a chance to hear what we were talking about. Do you think a team that wins 30 games had a successful season because they made the playoffs?
It just to me success. Oh, salute everybody. First of all, hey Johnny. You both you gentlemen were wrong. In regards to that Damian Lillard and Kyrie Hall of Fame thing, both
Uh-huh.
guys have, according to at least Basketball Reference, both guys have at least a 93% chance of making the Hall of Fame, at least. And Dame Hall of Fame chances is higher than Kyrie, but nonetheless, they both are future Hall of Famers. But not that's not the point. The point is,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
also, how could I forget? John Stockton is definitely not top five point guard of all time. We done with the '90s. But in regards to the conversation, right?
John Stockton?
I think a successful season just in regards to what goal is for that what goal is for that team. That, from a general standpoint, no, I'll say it's for this. From a personal standpoint, in any team sport, if you have a losing record, you shouldn't make the playoffs. That's in any team sport. It happened about I think 6 to 8 times in football. It happened a few times in basketball. In any
Mm-hmm.
team sport, if you have a losing record, you should not make the playoffs. That's personal. But to answer your question, if it was a successful season, I say it depends on the organization goal. Each organization, some of their goals to win the championship, some goals just to make the playoffs, some goals to advance in the playoffs. So we don't. But unless there's an article saying that what the Bulls' goal was at that time, then I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I don't know. But if you make the playoffs, whether you have a losing record or not, financially is good. It's good for your team, and experience wise, it's good for your team. So that
Well,
from a general sense, yeah.
yeah, nobody's saying making the playoffs don't mean nothing or it's not a good situation. But the idea that Jordan had a successful season, or we can't call it a losing season, because he made the playoffs. You still had a losing season. You were under 500 all the way across the board. You didn't even win a playoff game in those moments. So it's like, what did you win? What success did you truly had? You understand what I'm trying to say? Like you were
No,
still the
especially
bottom.
especially his sophomore season when he got hurt. That
Uh huh.
wasn't a successful season by any means. But I just being
Man.
completely objective, I just think each success is I gotta put it, it's a perspective thing depending on the team. Like
All right.
the Knicks can
Mm-hmm.
say they have a successful season because of what they're doing now. They was expected to do this. But if Boston somehow happened to lose to the Knicks later in the playoffs, they had an unsuccessful season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I
So
got you.
like each
But
yeah.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no. I just want to conclude with this.
All right.
Nah,
So let's
like
do.
you shouldn't brag about making the playoffs or losing record in general, no matter who it is.
All right. So let's do this. Let's be real about Kyrie Irving's career and Damian Lillard's career. All right. Now, Kyrie Irving's doesn't have 20,000 points. He doesn't have 5,000 assists. He has to get at least 8,000 assists to be considered great, enough to make the Hall of Fame. He doesn't have international career, nor does he have a college career. So it's just based off his NBA career. He only went to the All NBA 3 times, so we were predicating on him being an 8-time All Star. The only Hall of Famers that made the Hall of Fame as 8-time All Stars would be, if we look at it right now, is Giannis Antetokounmpo, which has other accolades to go with it. We have Vince Carter, who has over 25,000 points in 20 seasons played. Then from there, these are going to be all old school players. Now we do have Dwight Howard here, right? But Dwight Howard has Defensive Player of the Year. He has all NBA selections, all these other stuff. There is nobody here. You have Yao Ming here. Yao Ming's in the Hall of Fame. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he's definitely in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Yes, he is all.
but because of some of his stuff is international as well, right? Then you have Dikembe Mutombo, but who also has Defensive Player of the Year. You have Steve Nash, who also have an MVP. But then outside of that, you go to the guys who have 7. These guys don't have these guys not Hall of Famers. LaMarcus Aldridge, Joel Embiid
Not
has
yet.
7. Yeah, Joel Embiid has 7, but he's not. You know what I'm saying? Like he has other accolades, right? Then they got Grant Hill here, but we know Grant Hill has a college career, and he also had a few All NBAs, and that got him into the Hall of Fame, right? Tracy McGrady just make it, but Tracy McGrady has 7 All NBAs. That's the thing that Kyrie don't have, is he doesn't have.
Yeah, he only got 3.
Exactly, but Damian Lillard has 7 All NBAs. Damian Lillard has 21,000 points scored for his NBA career. Damian Lillard has 8 All Stars.
See,
So
what it
he's
is,
going-
Johnny.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Johnny, what it is that he has a championship. And see, people put all this weight on rings, not realizing it's way more than rings that's going to get you into the Hall of Fame.
But
You
not
have to have
one.
a Hall of
One is
Fame.
not enough. It's not enough. One is not going to be
Right,
enough to
that's
get you
what
in
I'm
the Hall
saying.
of Fame.
And his name is Kyrie Irving. So people are going off name recognition. But see,
Uh-huh.
when these people are voting for things like Hall of Fame, they're going to be looking at, hey, Damian Lillard was in Portland leading a team. Kyrie failed leading a team in Boston. He couldn't lead the team in Cleveland before LeBron James got there. All this weighs into a Hall of Fame vote. They're looking at all of that if we want to talk narrative. So again, if it's purely stats, Kyrie's not getting into the Hall of Fame. And if it's going off of narrative, Kyrie's not getting into the Hall of Fame. Not
No,
saying
hold on,
Kyrie
wait.
Irving isn't a
Let
great
me-
player.
But let me reiterate this. I'm not saying that he can't make it. If he still has an opportunity. But if we took his resume as is right now, he's not a Hall of Famer. If it was 2 years ago, like most people were saying, he's not going. And like you said, if we go by his name is actually worse for him than if we didn't use his name. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if we just look at
the thing.
go
My
ahead.
fault, hey, Johnny. But like the
No,
thing is,
go ahead.
especially with the Hall of Fame, how, in my opinion, the standard for the Basketball Hall of Fame is getting lower and lower year by year. Chauncey Billups just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. If I took the names off, put Chauncey Billups' resume next to Kyrie's resume, not that much of a difference. The only difference is the MVP, a Finals MVP, and 2 All Defensive teams. That's pretty much it. Kyrie got more All Stars and the same amount of All NBA teams, and he only has 1 championship. Yes, he just got inducted.
Yeah,
So
and
that's what I'm saying. Like,
he just got yeah. Now it took a while though. It took a while for him to get in there. He has the 1,000 games.
He still has more on his resume than Kyrie.
I'm saying the resume. The resume is very comparable. That's the point.
Yeah,
he doesn't have. Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have.
It's really Finals
that
MVP.
much
To
more.
be honest with you.
Yeah, because if you go look at it, he has less points than Kyrie. He only has 5,000 assists for his career, but he does have 1,000 games played for his career. That goes on there. Again, Kyrie can make it. I'm not saying Kyrie can't make it. I'm just saying as of right now, you look at his resume. It took Chauncey Billups' character, how he carries himself, his professionalism. You see what I'm trying to say? For him to get his recognition eventually, which Kyrie doesn't have. A lot of those voters don't like him. So again, he could make the Hall of Fame, but it's not just guaranteed Kyrie's a Hall of Famer. You see what I'm saying? Like, and to say that he's better than Scottie, which he's not. That's the whole point. He's not better than Scottie Pippen.
No, he's never that. But I just want to give the people the numbers that if John, you want the link for that too. According to Basketball Reference, he has a 93% chance of making the Hall of Fame. It's not guaranteed, but 93%. You know, I take them chances anything.
Hey, if you're saying he got a chance, it's a chance. It's a chance. Anyway, let me thank Travis, man. Hey, thanks, Travis, man. Thank you for coming up again. Thank y'all for joining me. I know, the Friday nights, Ajani. I had some fun with Mel. To be honest with you, I like Mel. Mel and I have been going back and forth for a while. I met Mel on TikTok, so thanks again for Mel as well. And thanks for you guys for showing up as well, man. So let King Fly speak right quick because his mic is messed up, so we can let him get in. Go ahead, King Fly. You got anything to say right quick?
Yeah, man. I'm still on the fact that was some nasty work with the under 500. Like, MJ fans would literally take anything negative about it. in some kind of way. Like that was the worst, nastiest take ever that I ever heard an MJ fan say. To brag on him for making it under 500 is atrocious. That's just
It's
asinine.
not. Listen, it's not a bad take.
That's so
It's
bad.
listen. Let me tell you why it's not a bad take, because it helps him for the argument that we're having. Because, like he said, let's just stick narrow-minded. Let's not think outside of it. He didn't realize he gave us a gem by telling us that the 41 and 41 Nets were better than whatever Western Conference team that didn't make the playoffs that won more than 41 games. Am I wrong for thinking that's what he's saying? Because when he's saying more successful, are you going to say I was more successful, so I was better than you? Like I tell him, what was the better team? That's why I tell him, when you
So
make the when you make the finals, you actually had to accomplish something to be there, so you can say you were at least the best team in your conference. So of course I had a better season than anyone else in my conference, anyone else, because they didn't do that. But 16 other teams made the playoffs. You didn't do nothing else. Go ahead, Twin Man.
so this was the double talk. He sat here and said, if you have making the playoffs means you have a chance to make the win the championship, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
tried to diminish the Eastern Conference. LeBron James dominated by sitting here saying he played all those under 500 teams. The double talk is real, Johnny.
That's what I'm
It's double
saying.
the double,
That's what I'm
double
saying.
talk is
That's what I'm
real.
saying. The whole premise is that they're using team records to say how good a team is, but if the team is still making the playoffs, they're still successful. So what's the point of it? If I can't call them a
Right.
losing team, you can't call them a worse team. Are we wrong, Sturdy? Because you say we be tripping sometime. You could always correct me, brother. Are we wrong?
No, objectively, that's typically how teams are measured by both the combination of regular season record and success they have in the playoffs. That's how teams get gauged. So if you have a
But
losing
A
record
thirty.
and you had no success in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Not a successful season for the most part.
But age 30, you
It's not.
can't sit here and say the Eastern Conference was weak because the competition in the playoffs that LeBron James played was weak, but it's a successful season if you make the playoffs, regardless of the record. That's double talk. At
Yeah,
the end
Even
of
if
the
that
you
is
day,
double talk.
everybody in that conference,
uh-huh.
according to him, everybody in that conference had a chance to win the championship, regardless of their record. So why does their record matter?
It does matter because I
Oh
thought
no,
about
I'm
the
using his
99.
logic.
No, no, I got
I
you.
agree
No,
with you.
I get it.
I'm
I
using
get it.
his
Listen,
logic.
I'm using this thing right here. So the Knicks of '99 went 27 and 23. So they were above 500. They ended up making the finals. That was the closest team to make the finals that was an eighth seed. No other team's ever done that. So what other seed
Besides your
made the
Heat.
final? Besides the Heat, right? In 2023, right? And let's see what the Heat
Hmm.
record was. I believe we wasn't under 500 last year, but
No.
we were the eighth seed. But we
Oh,
were the eighth seed. So the Heat last year were 44 and 38.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm trying to say? So that's what they don't get. Like there's no team, and we didn't even win it, and I don't even know if we could have won it. But still, we had to go through the playoffs. The only reason I think my Heat were great because of the playoffs. I can't look at the Heat when we were the eighth seed and say we had a just as good as a season because we made the playoffs as a team that won 54 games like the 76ers or the Cavaliers that won 51 games. You see what I'm saying? So and it's
traditionally the
crazy.
eighth seed,
Uh huh.
Yeah, that's why.
traditionally
That's
the
why.
eighth seed.
Oh,
So
Mm-hmm.
traditionally the eighth seed is honestly like the warm up series for the one seed. Traditionally, that eighth seed usually gets swept every year.
Uh huh.
That was literally the what you would see almost every year in the NBA playoffs. Like you said, you have your outliers. It's in
Mm-hmm.
this era though, where the NBA is more talented, where you have to look out for an eighth seed. Let's be real
And
but
here.
or a
but
shortened season, a lockout season. Go ahead, Sturdy.
yeah, playoffs about matchups. We know this, but I was going to say. Like I said, it really depends on the team. Like if the Rockets made the eighth seed this year, they would have considered
Mm-hmm.
a successful season, regardless of what success they had in playoffs. If the
That's
same
true.
thing with the Pelicans, outside of health with the Pelicans, they had a successful season because they didn't. They're a young core. They're trying to get playoff experience. So I just think successful just predicated off the expectations of that team. That's
I
and
got
on
you.
a year by year basis. That's why I think so.
All right,
And
let's
I
let
don't
King Money
disagree
fly.
with that.
Hold on, wait.
But in the
Hold on,
context
Twin
in
Man,
which Mel was
Twin Man.
about,
Let's Let's let King Money fly in. We got to quiet because his mic has the backdraft. So King Money fly, go ahead.
What's up, man? Like I said, you said it wasn't a bad take, but I just, like I said, man, they always find a way to take out a negative to spin it off, man. Like, I can't get off of that, man. Like, that was just some nasty work, man. Just like about the 3 point line, just like anything you have to critique Jordan there, try to spin it, you know what I'm saying, and try to, bounce it off another way. And I just don't be understanding that. But this one here, man, I don't know, hey Johnny. This one, I don't know, man. But that's all I'm gonna say, man. But for anybody that's watching, tell them to go ahead and plug me in real quick. So you guys go ahead. You can follow me on TikTok, man. King Money Fly, man. I'll be going live on there, man. And I always be here in Go James Kingdom, man, watching the show, man. So for all you chat warriors that be in here that's scared to come on stage, man, why you even here? Like, if you ain't gonna come on stage and say your piece, man. I guess like he's always say, be safe in the chat in the comments. So, but
Yeah,
go
leave
ahead,
him in the
keep
comments.
it.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Listen, guys, this is what the Friday Night Exposure is for. I'm glad I had the one-on-one because I thought no one was gonna come challenge me, and Mel showed up. So shout out to Mel again, man. True, man, you were saying something. My bad when I cut you off. Go ahead, brother.
I just have to sit here and say, like, there was a few takes that just baffled me, because you sat here and you mentioned the 5 losing seasons, and then y'all went into that whole tangent of what a successful season is. But then for me, just the Jordan logic, I can't stand it. I can't stand it, because again, it like there's something wrong with them mentally. That Because he sat here with a straight face and said, if you're talking to 10 regular people, 9 of them are going to sit here and say the things he say, and it's only going to be you who is going to use accurate information. So because 9 other people are misinformed and don't understand that the NBA recognizes these certain awards and accolades, that means it doesn't count. That's the most ridiculous take I've ever heard in my life. What do we and that's the narrative based bullshit we need to get away from, because at the end of the day, facts are facts. You can actually look something up. Just because you don't want player of the week, you don't want player of the month to count, doesn't mean it doesn't count. That's not how that works. The NBA recognizes it. So guess what? Jordan doesn't have the most accolades. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It doesn't matter what 9 other people are going to say. It doesn't even matter if the majority of people say this. The majority of people would be wrong. So I am tired of people with their dumbass logic. I'm also tired of this, and Sturdy said it as well. I don't give a damn if Jordan was hurt in his sophomore year. He stepped on the goddamn court. Once you step on the court, I don't give a shit about your injuries. You lost.
They do it
I
to
don't
the
care if he
goat.
played one
They do it to the
game
goat.
and he went into the playoffs. I don't care if he played a half a game and then he went into the playoffs. He went into the playoffs and he lost. So I don't give a shit about injury. Don't
I
step
will
on the
say
court if
this:
you're hurt.
this
Go ahead,
this
Sturdy.
conversation was just evident of. I think majority of people who has Jordan as the GOAT, it seems like they were told they were the GOAT instead of coming up their own method
Hmm.
and then understanding. Okay, I formulated something that could. He so happened to be the GOAT. Like because every major fan base that has a certain player as the GOAT, their criteria is more consistent than the Jordan representatives, in my opinion. And while one hand is you got to jump to team success, but then when team success isn't comparable to other guys, now you got to jump to accolades. When accolades don't compare, now you got to jump to an biggest finals record. Like that's the thing. Is just it just keeps moving, and that to me, especially if anybody that works in the STEM field, is like any inconsistency like that, you don't take it as fact. You don't take it as like as credible. And I just implore every person that has Jordan as the GOAT, do your own due diligence and be consistent even with your own criteria. Whether you're a casual, expert, related to whoever, that is a thing that's applicable to everybody that has their own responsible due diligence to do. Be consistent with your own criteria.
Do they have a criteria?
Um, Not the only consistent one I heard that made that you could probably put Jordan as the GOAT is he's a player that has both a combination of team success and individual dominance during his prime. Like that's the only criteria that made sense to me. That I'm like, okay, that can you can probably argue Jordan's the GOAT under that circumstance. But other than that, no, no, no consistent criteria I heard so far. To be honest with you.
You see why I put that laugh out. You see why I put that. Travis is the best, man. Shout out to Travis, man. Yeah, enjoy your Friday night, Travis.
No,
That man.
Travis, you try. They say like Travis is on a good journey, but he's not at the destination yet. He's not. Like when you say
Yeah.
things like a shooting guard can provide much defensive impact as a center or a power forward, you gotta recalibrate some. You gotta recalibrate some things, Travis. You just like like
Well, all right. So
Let me tell
let's.
you something.
I want to get over. I just want to get up out of here. I know you agree with me, Twin Man. Sturdy. I want to see if you agree with me. Is it wrong for us to go to the NBA website and see what they list as the accolades that they recognize and appropriate that into the GOAT conversation?
oh no, it's not wrong. If you value accolades in your criteria, then by all means use anything that's viewed as an accolade slash award.
Now,
Me
my.
personally,
Uh huh.
I would say try to if for people who do accolades, I would say try to use accolades that's applicable to all eras. But that's just a personal recommendation. But if the NBA recognizes it as an award and you have awards your criteria, you have to take into account.
Yeah. Now, mind you, what I'm saying as far as putting it into the GOAT conversation is just saying, listen, LeBron has the most NBA accolades. That's the saying. Nothing like, well, he has 60 player of the weeks. Your man only has 30. No, you understand what I'm trying to say? Like that, those things are just all incumbent of what he has. It just tells you he has all of these accolades. He has the most. That's really it. And it's honestly because, like you said, he came in a later era. Because Kareem doesn't have 90 because he didn't come in Jordan's era. If Kareem was in Jordan's era, he would probably have 90. If both of them were in LeBron's era, they probably would have well over 100 or close to 150 as well, right? But
Mhm.
they didn't play and they didn't, like I said, there were just certain awards not available to them. You see what I'm trying to say? Like you said, we just can't do that. But they don't want to do that because if we tell them the Finals MVP should be included in awards that shouldn't count in the GOAT debate because it's not available to everybody. The Defensive Player of the Year should be another one. The All Defensive Team is another one because technically the only thing that existed since the '60s, which people want to consider real basketball for NBA, it was all NBA MVP and All Star selections.
Yep.
That's it. That's really it, and championships. But
And
which is
if
a
you
team,
and
it's
if
team
and if you
accomplishments.
go of those individual restrictions, LeBron still has the most. Well,
LeBron still has the most. See, I don't even have to say that. And like I said, we don't have to use the lies. We could our eye test says LeBron's the GOAT, and his resume says that he's the GOAT. Like I said, even any criteria Jordan fan throws at us says LeBron's the GOAT. You see what I'm saying? So I really don't get why they want to argue with us, because that's
oh,
it's
here's the main thing. Here's the
uh huh
main thing.
uh
Here's the main thing. Here's the main evidence of why I think Jordan fans was told they to go and opposed to figuring out on their own. They always try to compare another player to how much they resemble Mike's career or Mike as a player. In no other sport, that's the case. GOAT is a thing of like it's basically it's like a level because the beauty that's the beauty of basketball. You be great in a multitude of ways. It is
mm-hmm.
not a cookie cutter thing.
Hmm.
So
That's pretty
that's
credible.
another evidence. You never heard nobody say who tried to justify LeBron as the GOAT saying, "Oh, he there's no other player closest to him in regards to playing like this and shooting like this and acting like this." You know, same thing with Kareem, same thing with Bill Russell. No one ever says that. They keep it to what that player has done. But for most Jordan fans who to try to justify Jordan as being the GOAT, you have to walk a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, you have to act a certain way, you have to shoot ill advised a certain way. So
Mm.
it
Mm.
just that's the thing. It just it seems pretty lazy to me, to be honest with you. But
I got you,
have a
man.
Shots hit
consistent
mid
Listen,
range
criteria.
jump shot.
Yeah, all right. So, Twin Man, give me your last words so I can get up out of here, man. It's been great, DJ. I will let you up, bro, but I really got to get going. Southside Mel took a lot of my time, so y'all got to check the show out. I was with Southside Mel. He's one of the big time Jordan guys. I'm not gonna call him a Zesty Jeffrey, even though he follows some Zesty Jeffrey logic. Twin Man, go ahead, close it
Hey
out for
Johnny's trying
me.
to catch that Mavs Clippers game. He's trying to catch the rest of that.
So
That's true too.
this is
I'm
my
trying
last
to. I'm
thing.
trying to get. Go ahead. Hey, wait. The Cleveland
Stop the
Cavaliers
dust.
won, right? The Cavs won, right? Is that
Nah,
right?
Orlando won. Mitchell
Orlando came
dropped
back and
50,
won.
but Orlando won. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't think they had the
Okay.
fortitude. They looking good for a young team. Go ahead, Twin Man. Go ahead.
Stop. I need people. If you're gonna have a conversation, don't double talk. Don't sit here and saying you having uh several different conversations when it's all the same conversation. Just stop the double talk. At the end of the day, y'all can't prove why this man's the GOAT. The goalpost has to shift, it has to move, and it's always gonna be a different target for y'all to try to prove something that's just at this point, I don't understand why there's still an argument. He had his time. Jordan was great in his time. He was great in his era. He did what he did. He earned his GOAT status. LeBron has earned his. That's all I gotta say. I'm going to the gym.
All right. Shots fired. Shots fired. Appreciate that. So, Sturdy Man, thank you for joining me, brother. You are always well appreciated. You have any last words for these Zesty Jeffries? Or are you out of here as well? So again, y'all, this has been the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I'm Ajani, the Exposer. I come on Friday nights to give Jordan fans a chance to speak, and you guys got one today. I seen y'all in the comments. Y'all was supporting Mel, so shout out to Mel and giving the Zesty Jeffries what they want, which is somebody to actually debate against Ajani and have a good conversation about the game. They thought Mel was right. Others thought that Mel was wrong. We know what we do best in GOAT James Kingdom. The truth always shines, not the lies. So the Zesty Jeffrey lies get kicked out. We don't have time for that. But you guys know what we do here in the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Like I said, y'all, this is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I go live every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can always follow us on right here on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, check out the membership. We're also on Facebook. I'm going live on Facebook as well in our Facebook group, which has over 90,000 members there. We are growing every year. Every year we keep growing. Every day we're growing. But we're also on TikTok, Discord, Instagram, Twitter. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, become a member of the channel. Make sure you check us out coming up this Sunday show. We're going to talk about LeBron James and whether or not the Lakers are actually doing him justice for him coming to the Lakers. Should he actually return and re-sign with the Lakers for another couple of years? Should he opt in or opt out of his contract and put the Lakers on notice? But we'll definitely have a chance to talk about that on Sunday. So you guys know what we do on Sunday. Make sure you catch Sunday's show. That is the GOAT James Kingdom show with B. Lee and Ajani. But tonight it is the Friday Night Exposure. And I just exposed to y'all that LeBron James has the most accolades in NBA history. Not by GOAT James Kingdom standards, not by LeBron's sexual standards, not by Clutch Sports paying anybody to say this, but by the NBA website themselves. They stated the amount of accolades and awards that are available for the players that they recognize. So how you want to value them, that's another discussion. But what they are there. And Player of the Month is an actual trophy that Michael Jordan got, and so did LeBron and Kobe Bryant and the rest of these guys. There isn't one for Player of the Week, but it's an honor that they actually respect because they actually put Player of the Week in the player's bio over their All-Star selections. So the NBA doesn't recognize your All-Star MVPs or your All-Star selections, but they recognize your Player of the Week and your Player of the Months. Who are you to say otherwise? All right. So again, you guys know what we do best. This is the GOAT James Kingdom platform. You guys have a great Friday night. Enjoy it. This is GOAT James Kingdom. You have now been exposed by the Exposer. If you're a basketball fan and you're tired of basketball shows that talk about fake narratives and using non-basketball terms like killer instinct, playoff translation, gravity, come to GOAT James Kingdom.